All right, welcome back to the morning show on this Motivational Monday. It's so good to be with you as we continue our way all the way till 8:30 this morning. And speaking all things motivational, my next guests do exactly that. Now, after reading an article about girls in underprivileged communities missing school due to a lack of access to menstrual sanitary wear, Palesa set out to find a sustainable solution. Following 6 months of research and testing, she launched what is now Palesa reusable sanitary pads. The CEO and founder of Palesa Pads joins us this morning, together with Simpiwa Matlangu, sponsorship coordinator and event ambassador. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Are you well?
Yes.
It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity. We really appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to learning about this because I think it's exactly that, learning, at least for me, in terms of what it is that women experience, what girls go through. So maybe let's start with you, Sherry. Take us through to what inspired you, what moved you to eventually say, I need to do something about this and eventually start Palesa Pads as we know it.
Well, as you said, it was because I found out that girls were actually missing school due to not having sanitary pads. But during the process, I discovered that many women, even who can afford pads, are battling with disposable pads. Excuse me. And that periods are holding women back in their lives. And we really feel that, your period should be just another day. And if it's holding you back, maybe the products are part of the problem. So I wanted to find a great, comfortable, affordable solution that can give you confidence and really protect you through that difficult time of the month.
Maybe you can help us to understand, because especially, again, I'll speak from my side. As a gentleman, I have an idea, but I don't really understand fully. If you're speaking about, how hectic the statistics are, what are the realities that little girls are going through who are unable to? Maybe even have some insight in terms of what they're using instead of a pad as an alternative. The reason I ask that is so that we understand really how dire the situation is and how helpful this will actually become.
Well, that's actually great. I mean, I was horrified when I found out what girls were using. Things like newspaper, socks, t-shirts, rags, even old beanies. In rural areas, it's even worse. They're using things like chicken feathers, sand, grass, even cow dung wrapped in a cloth. So you can imagine the infections that are coming with that. And of course, those things don't really work. So they're just meant to absorb the blood, but nobody can walk to school 2 kilometers with a cow dung pad in your panties. It's not going to work. So the girls are staying at home, and the problem is when they're at home, they fall victim to gender-based violence and rape because they're not in school where they should be. So the problem just continues and it just perpetuates, and they miss out on so much school that they eventually start failing their exams, and then they fall pregnant because they were raped, and they drop out of school, and the whole thing just continues. We have a very serious problem of teenage pregnancy in our country, and I firmly believe that inadequate sanitary facilities and products are a very big part of that.
Yeah, they actually play a big role. So I'm going to bring it to you quickly before we actually talk about the products. I mean, for you to be able to hear about Palesa Pads and the work that is happening there, to eventually say, you know what, I want to sign up to be a part of this. I mean, what drew you to the brand and the ethos of the brand?
Basically what the brand stands for. For me, it's not even just about a job. It does not even feel like a job to me. For me, it feels like a bigger movement. You're part of a big war that we're trying to fight. Period poverty is a big thing. It's an ongoing war. So to be part of a big revolutionary move like this, honestly, for me, it's beyond measure. It's beyond measure, yeah.
That is fantastic. Okay, I'd love to find out. So tell me about the Palesa Pads in terms of how they work. I understand that they're reusable, which I'm assuming for a lot of women and moms and girls and sisters, they're probably thinking, what are you even saying? This is something that's never existed for a long time. Talk us through that.
And the joke is it actually existed for a very long time.
Oh, goodness.
Disposable pads only came around in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Before that, all our grandmothers and everybody else, all the way back to the beginning of time, women were using cloth. The problem was that they didn't have the fabrics that we have today. Today we've got polyester-based fabrics which don't stain, unlike cotton that was used in the past. We've got waterproof fabrics which they didn't have, so we can make sure that it doesn't leak. We've got clever designs with wings and snaps. So inside of our pad, you'll see it's got a sports fabric as the top layer, microfiber toweling as the absorbent, and then a full waterproof layer to make sure that it doesn't leak.
Okay.
And this is just an open one to show the demonstration, but it's very simple. It's got the same design as a disposable pad, but instead of glue, we use these plastic snaps. So you simply put it into your panties, fold it around, and snap it closed. And it's adjustable as well, depending on the size of your panties, because they're guaranteed for 5 years. So even a little girl who gets them from us at the age of 12, she'll be 17. When she's 17, she'll still be using them.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that they will cater, will look after you as you grow. And that's it. Sits inside a pad like a normal, inside your panty like a normal pad. And when it's full, you just simply close it all up and put it back together.
It actually all falls together.
And it doesn't leak.
Which is how we found it sitting like
yes.
this.
So it looks like a little purse. It doesn't even look like a pad.
Yeah.
And these are just different absorbencies, because most ladies have a heavy flow on day 1 and 2, and then it gets lighter as they go along. Some experience discharge throughout the month. So we've got our panty liner and then all the different sizes.
Okay.
And it doesn't smell, because that period smell is actually not from the blood. It's from the chemicals in the disposable pads. So this pad, even when it's full of blood, and some people can attest to this, you will not smell it. I've left it in my cupboard for months as an experiment. It still didn't smell. And it's so easy to wash because we've used a synthetic fabric that can't stain.
Talk us through specifically the washing, because I think this is where it gets very interesting.
Yes,
this
of
is
course.
where a lot of people are drawn to,
you wanna
because
show it?
it being so accessible. Maybe you can tell us more details in terms of how do you actually clean this?
Absolutely. So you simply grab a container or a bucket similar to what I have here. You fill it up with cold water. It doesn't necessarily have to be filled up to the brim. You take your washing powder, and then again, it doesn't have to be this washing powder specifically. Any washing powder that you have at home will do the job. Sprinkle it inside your water. Give it a nice gentle shake just to get the foam up. You then take your pad, the soiled side, facing upside down, and you soak it inside your container for up to an hour.
Okay.
Once that time has passed by, you realize that there's literally close to nothing left. Probably a clot here and there. That's not an issue at all. You just take your green bar. Now, we specifically suggest green bar. Please do not use any perfume soaps. Rub it onto your absorbent layer. Give it a nice gentle wash. The material is easy to clean. It is stain resistant, so you don't necessarily have to worry about it staining. The dirty water is inside the bucket. You throw it out in the toilet, rinse the bucket, pour cold, clean water. Now, usually our buckets also come with a reusable bottle of white spirit vinegar. This is your normal fish and chips vinegar. And what it does is that it kills the bacteria inside and outside of your pad. So you just need a bottle cap inside your rinse water. Add your pads inside, rinse, 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 wring them out. Pay careful attention to the water that runs out from your pads. If the water is a bit brownish and discolored,
You want to make sure that it's clear.
exactly. So
Yeah.
once it's clear, transparent, that will indicate to you that the pads are clean inside and out. And then to dry them out is very simple. We have a very simple solution to an age-old problem. This
I can
is what
see.
we call.
This is taking us back to what we already have.
This is our Palesa pads drying clip. Because I'm still a bit shaky, I'll ask Cherie to just show you how to put it on. Right? So you clip it onto the different snaps onto the drying clip, just like that. There are more snaps at the back of the drying clip
you're
as
actually
well.
able to
So you
put
can.
more than one.
And of course, if you've got more pads, you can then clip them into one another just like that.
Okay.
Drying it is also easy. Hang it out in the sun for about an hour. They don't take that much time to dry. Once you're ready, put them back in your bucket and you're ready to use them
This
again.
is phenomenal, because like it's already just solved finances problem. It's already solved the dignity problem. It's already solved so much in doing this. We're out of time, and I want to ask you this question, Cherie. You know, from when you started Palesa Pads to where you are now, I'm sure you've seen so many different girls, their faces beam with joy and with shock and just with feeling seen with the use of the Palesa pad. What does it mean to you now, since you started it to where you are now, when you see those faces again and again and again, briefly so, when you see those girls finding that little bit of dignity?
I always say, you know what, one of those girls is going to become a doctor. Hopefully one of them will become a gynecologist as a result of all this. So I'm so pleased. I can't wait to see them as grown-ups and to see the life that they've lived as a result of not having to miss school. So that's what it means to me.
That is fantastic. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much for coming up with this. It is absolutely fantastic. And Team S fam, there you have it. That was Cherie Palesa de Vet, CEO and founder of Palesa Pads, as well as Simpiwe Mahlangu, sponsorship coordinator and event ambassador, who's her birthday today, coming to chat to us all about Palesa Pads, which is absolutely fantastic. Stay with us.
Millions of girls miss 3 to 5 days of school every month due to the lack of sanitary products. Disposable sanitary pads are often expensive, contain harmful chemicals, and are out of reach for some. They take hundreds of years to decompose, meaning they end up in our landfills and our oceans. Palesa Pads' mission is to provide girls with sustainable and healthy cloth pads that are economical and eco-friendly because they are reusable for up to 5 years and are locally manufactured with high-quality fabric that is easy to use and clean. Our pads are stylish, comfortable, and completely stain-resistant. Please get involved by donating or sponsoring #KeepAGirlChildInSchool or contact us if you would like us to come to your school.
Have you heard about the cloth pad revolution? Well, take charge of that time of the month with Palesa reusable sanitary pads. Palesa pads are better for your budget as they can be used for 5 years, saving you thousands of rands. They're better for your body as they are hypoallergenic and don't cause skin irritations. They're better for your confidence as they don't leak or smell and can be easily stored in your bag until you take them home to wash. They're better for the environment as they don't block drains or fill up landfills. In fact, every Palesa reusable pad keeps 200 disposable pads out of the environment. Stand a chance to win your very own Palesa Pads Kickstart Flow Kit with everything you need to start your cloth pad journey. Visit the Palesa Pads social media pages to enter the competition. Look out for the competition post pinned at the top of the page. Follow the page, like the post, and tag 3 friends. Winners will be announced on the 21st of August. Good luck.